Okay, guys, welcome to Dave's LFC Chats. It's Thursday night. It is sweltering, record-breaking heat. Melt City. I'm Melt City here in Dublin. This is like a UN panel here. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've got Owen from Paris from the Kopon podcast. Speaks more languages than C3PO. Owen, how are you?
I wish that were the case. I love languages. Yeah, I love learning languages very badly. But I'm very well surviving. It's been, in the 30s today here in Paris. I was outside in it, trying to, not burn up. I recommend, number one, everyone getting together and helping the planet, and number two, drinking bubble tea, which was really good. Those with the tapioca things, very refreshing.
Well, maybe not as many languages as C3PO. I think he knows about 3 million, but you're close. Down,
getting there.
Right below, getting there. Great to have you on, as usual. My mate Daz from the Liverpool Connection podcast, all the way from sunny, sweltering 44-plus heat in Austin, Texas. Daz, how are you surviving, my friend?
I've just cooked me bacon and beans and egg outside. Oh, delicious. Absolutely delicious.
They'll be ready straight after the podcast.
Yeah, it's sweltering here. I'm like I said before, I just stay inside. It's just way too hot for me. I can only let my kids out the house for 30 minutes before they get absolutely burned. It probably doesn't help because I put bacon fat on them. Yeah.
to help their tan. Okay.
Fuck's sake. Macari's chipper here. Look, guys, we're going to enjoy this chat tonight. Last but not least, he's changed his name. It is the Anfield Road TV, Jackie boy, all the way from Liverpool. Jack, how are you?
Not too bad, mate. Well done on 5K, mate. It's the next over 5K to 10K, 15K.
All the way to a million, baby.
Yeah. But thank you very much for having me on, mate. Great to speak to Daz and Owen and most importantly chat as well. And I don't, as I've said to you over the years, Dave, Scouse is another language in itself, as a lot of people would probably say. So I can speak a bit of English and a bit more better Scouse. Mate, but thank you for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I don't know whether you've ever seen the clip with I think it was Stephen Gerrard. It was one of his first few weeks with Aston Villa, and he's been interviewed. I think it was BT at PT Sport. I'm not sure, but one of them was talking about, the interactions with all the foreign players and stuff like that, and how many languages they speak. A lot of them just speak multilingual, like our friend Owen in the chat. But he was saying, I speak 2 languages, English and Scouse. And he was so serious. Your man was expecting some sort of a laugh or, yeah. And he goes, you come for a beer with me and my mates. And we go full on Scouse. You won't have a fucking clue what we're talking about, baby. You know what I mean?
That's what you get with Stevie. Full on serious. Right.
Same with Carrot as well, isn't it? Like, meet him in person, he's full on Scouse, but then on Sky, he slows it down so people can understand.
Yeah. No, I suppose he has to do that. But it's like the old-fashioned 70s and 80s BBC newsreaders. You ever heard a story about them? They had to be elocution lessons to precision. Like Owen, a bit like Owen now with his poems. We'll get a poem from Owen later on, hopefully. Guys, right, look. We're all here for the Reds. Our dream continues. The journey continues. We got a 2-2 against Fulham. We're not going to go back over spilt milk. We got the point. We move on. We big game against Palace Monday night, of course. But before we talk about the crystal, smashing the crystals of the Palace, we shall have a little chat about Harvey Elliott. E.T., exciting teenager. A long-term deal for the Reds. I'm excited about it. I'm expecting big things from this guy. I really am. I think he's going to be a lot more involved this season as well. Daz, what's your thoughts on young Harvey?
Love it. He's definitely ahead of Carvalho for me. And Jones as well. But to tie him down, but didn't he just sign a new contract not too long ago as well?
Yeah, it was last year, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so
July the 9th. I just
maybe every year we'll just keep signing him. But yeah, what a talent! All you have to do is go back last season, the first 3-4 matches. He fitted right in that first 11, and then the horrific injury against Leeds, put his season finished. But you can see it. You know, we go back and, you know, we used to watch like the Ben Woodburns, and there was talent there. But then you put somebody like Elliott next to him, and you can see star power. He's gonna be world class, and he's ours. I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah, I mean, he is a genuine Liverpool fan since he was a kid. I think I've seen a picture with him with his little blonde mop of hair. He's about 5 or 6 with a Liverpool jersey on. He's a proper fan and everything, which is great. A boyhood fan, you know, signing. It must be a bloody dream. Think about it. It'd be like one of us playing for Liverpool or being involved directly with the club. I mean, it'd be absolutely Area 51 dreamland stuff. Owen, the man, C3PO. What language are we going to speak tonight? Hopefully, it's English. How are you, my friend?
No, I'm really good. I'm really excited about Harvey. I mean, you know, he's 19 now. Is that right? Either way, he's going to start. Yeah, he's almost 20. He's 20 in April, isn't he? So it's someone who, for a midfield stroke attacker, he's going to start to get into his prime for his type of player as well, because he doesn't rely on pace. He's not a speed merchant. You know, he's a technical guy, and he's just going to improve. Yeah. He's going to learn all the tricks, you know, all the tricks of the trade. He's going to, you know, he's got magic, oozing from, you know, his boots, his mind too, because he says all these great things about how thrilled he is to be a Liverpool player. And just think, it's, you know, he's 4 years away from beginning to be in his prime, because you'd be from about 23 to about 28, maybe 30, you know, and just imagine how good he will be. Because, I mean, already it's nuts. Like, it's crazy. I mean, Klopp talked about Jordan Henson saying how good he was in small spaces. But, you know, Harvey, his technique is beautiful. Absolute perfection for a 19-year-old. So, yeah, I mean, you know, the stars are not even a limit. I mean, he's going to go into another universe of brilliance, and we're just going to, you know, support him all the way. Enjoy the ride.
The James Webb Telescope won't even be able to see him. He's so intergalactic. What a player we have in hand. That's why Liverpool signed him down long term. I mean, it's just, don't worry, Daz, the puns are going to come out tonight, baby. They're coming out of the shadows. Jackie,
did you watch Close Encounters before coming on?
E.T. exciting teenager. Jackie, Harvey Elliott, I know you like him. You like him as a player, as a man, as a young man. What's your thoughts? New deal? Done deal?
Yeah, as the lads have already alluded to, I think it's a massive indicating factor. We seen it last year prior to him getting injured. I think it was at Leicester, one of the games anyway. That Jurgen Klopp, I don't think any of us anticipated Harvey having that much of an impact at the beginning of last season. When you think about it, potentially is a couple of months behind his development. But I think I didn't see a lot of him at Blackburn, but judging from all accounts from the Blackburn fans, he really left a mark on and a lasting impression. And they're so to the point where Morton's coming into obviously the squad in terms of Blackburn now this season, and they're hoping that he has a very similar trajectory in terms of his impact on the squad. So happy days, and as the lads have said, only 19 years old, as Owen said. The better years are ahead of him, and when you look at Liverpool's age range, I think a chart come out this week that Liverpool have got the oldest. Well, judging from the first start, this week's starting 11, Liverpool have got the oldest squads, and what we need to do is obviously tie down our youngest players and obviously plan long term in and around the players like Elliott, Carvalho coming in now. Obviously, Diaz quite young, Jota as well. So Harvey, yeah, it's which we'll probably discuss tonight, really, in terms of the change of position. But happy days, mate, and I'm so happy. Yeah, Joe, when you just watch an interview of someone and he loves, as he said, mate, he's a Liverpool fan, most importantly, but he's just absolutely buzzing to be there. And long may it continue, mate.
Yeah, I know Klopp loves him. I mean, Klopp, he must love him. He's given him, as you say, he only signed an extension recently. He's signed an extension on top of an extension. I mean, really do like him. He suits our game, suits our play. He's a boyhood fan. I mean, what more could you bloody ask for? Other than stay injury-free, stay injury free, because we know what happened last year. He was ready to rock and roll, and he got that bloody injury would put him back a season, you might as well say. But let's hope this year, touch wood, everything goes well for him, and I believe he will see a lot more of the ball, first team football with Liverpool. Guys, I don't know if you've seen midweek a lot of the crap on Twitter and social media, and as we all know about Nunes and players coming in, and will Klopp do this, Klopp out, and all these bullshitters on Twitter. I mean, I laugh at it. I have to laugh at it because I'm on Twitter quite a lot, and I have to see it, even though you don't want to see it. It's in front of your face. It's like when you're a kid walking into a news agent and you used to see the page three in the corner. You didn't want to look, but you'd be like that, you know yourself. But like for me, I just think the Twitter and the social media bullshit is around. It's a cesspit bullshit crap. TikTok boys, Instagram boys, whatever you want to call them. Daz, I'm sure you know all about it, an old school man like me. But I mean, Klopp out, all this bullshit after one game, a draw, away to a very good Fulham side, to be fair. So, I mean, it's complete bullshit, isn't it?
I'll name names.
Go!
Yeah, it's toxic. The only reason why I'm on Twitter, obviously we've all got podcasts, want to promote it, but apart from that, stay off of it. It's gotten worse. 3 seasons ago, Twitter wasn't as bad as it is now. It just seems like there's this horrible, how can you complain about this team? We just watched them win 2 trophies, lost the lead by a point, and got beaten by Real Madrid in a final by a goal. How can you complain? We've got injuries, but every team has injuries. Just deal with it, just like Klopp's doing. The madness after the 2-2 draw with Fulham, it was disgusting to me. They're not Liverpool fans, and no chance.
No, I don't think they are. I don't know what they are. I don't even know if they're fans of football, full stop. I don't know what they are.
They seem to not understand how, what Klopp's system is. Like, now the bandwagon is the Hendo haters.
Yeah, they've always been there, though, haven't they? They've always been there.
Some lad came out on Twitter and put, obviously it was a fake account, but he came out and put, Jordan Henderson as a bum. That's the name of the account. And it was just nothing but Hendo this, Hendo doesn't track back, Hendo doesn't score goals, this. And you try to tell him, the whole thing is people go, don't start with me with Klopp's got him in the team. Well, he does. And you're not a manager. Klopp's probably the best manager in the world, and he picks him on a regular basis. So you tell me who's wrong, who's right. But they won't have it, though. You sew up his arse. I'm like, I'd love to be up Klopp's arse, to be honestly. Maybe he'll give me a hug.
As long as you get a hug afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, I hope. Rather, no, sod off, you stink.
Fuck's sake. I'm just trying to think about that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody's in it as well. Obviously, I've grew up in a social media environment, my age group as well, and anyone can create 10 accounts on Twitter, and there will be rival fans there.
That's the fucking problem.
And the massive point is, bet you the similar point, but taken to greater levels now, given the social interaction on social media, how everyone lives today in life. But in the 70s and 80s, there probably was the attraction, but the only interaction fans had from a global perspective was on the television screen. They had no opportunity to really connect properly. And the access to players now is ever so that they've got Twitter accounts, and very much a point. Some players have agents, but some players are like us. They have access because that's their only port of call of really connecting with their with the fans, really. And obviously, there's the positives, and also the negatives probably outweigh the positives in certain extents. But it's the new. They're not even in a class them as fans, but it's when you're successful, you're going to attract a variety of fans. And there's going to be a lot of positives, and then there's going to be a lot of negatives as well to that. So it's a catch-22 really, but long may it continue, boys, in terms of Liverpool being successful, and eventually people will just drown out the noise. I've just become to the point where I'm on Twitter now and I just block people. I just don't want that on my timeline.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
I've gone through all the negative Nigels and Nigellas and just bin them off because like life's too short. Also, in 280 characters, you can't actually have a proper like debate about something. Like, I get the argument that Hendo's getting a bit older, and there are lots of stats that aren't particularly flattering for him, as well as others that really are. But you can't go into any of it in 280 characters, so it just ends up being like a sort of
it's a back and forward
either people
thing.
take or there's no and it's just, I don't know, it's nonsense. Is my internet okay?
It's probably not even worth talking about, but I'm just trying to get an idea of I'm not going to spend much time in it because it's negative bullshit. And right on here, we just want to be as positive as possible as we can. We like opinions. Everybody has opinions. We've no problem with opinions. You can say what you want. You have to back it up with facts. You have to back it up, with something. Whereas, as Owen said, Jack Daz said, most of the time these guys can't back it fucking up. They just say something and that's it. Just leave it there in the ether. No backup, no facts, just bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's what annoys me the most. Something stupid as that.
They're just wind-up merchants. They want you to bite. That's it.
That's it.
Because they sit in their mummy's basement, getting free internet from mummy and daddy. And, they can say what they want. The FIFA managers, That's
it. That's what they are, Unfortunately. Sorry, what'd you say, Jack?
Oh, that wasn't me.
Pretty sad life.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's across the board now. I just think socially, the whole world's bleeding gone like that. There is obviously political correctness as well. That's another day's podcast. There is the cancel culture thing, and you can't say this, can't say that. That's wrong in itself because that's free speech comes into it and stuff like that. I'm sure you know all about that in the States. That's the big issues on free speech. But I mean, that's another podcast. So you just have to be careful on Twitter what you say and who's watching and stuff like that. So you've got to say the right thing within bounds. You know what I mean? You have to ease back sometimes.
Yeah, I know he's a Man United player, but when you look at Rashford, in terms of how he's been dealt, in terms of the social point of view, is an absolute disgrace. The lad's 23. I know he plays for Manchester United, but obviously the stuff he does off the pitch, and then he's getting criticised for doing that. It's like the lad, just let the lad play football, or any of our lads. Ginny got absolute stick, and for me, he was like a 6, 7 out of 10 every single week. But social media doesn't look at the game of football in the whole variety and pitch point of view. So it's gone from Ginny, then it's gone to Curtis Jones. The lad, Curtis is 21 years old and still getting sick. It's Hendo. And when those lads do leave, it'll be next again. It'll be the same, different targets for the same reasons. But
I think every club gets it, Jack. I mean, Haaland was getting some stick after that Community Shield, now be fair. I think Ronaldo gets a lot. I'd seen something on Twitter. I think he's the most hated or the most comments against is someone like Ronaldo, probably even Messi, even though they're so great as footballers and goal scorers, they still get shit because they're so bloody big. And they have such a big profile and have something like 50 million followers. I don't know what it is, something ridiculous like that. But we won't spend much more time on this Twitter toxicity. What we will do, though, is talk about the Reds. And as I was saying earlier, the likes of Nunez signing and all these signings. Do you think, guys, we will do anything in the last, what is it? The 1st of September, I think, is the window. I would have thought we might have did something, but it's sort of calmed down now, I think. I think he's just seen what way the land lies with the squad, the players, especially in midfield. The likes of Jones is back soon. Naby's back. Obviously, Tyler Morton went out on loan. We have Ox, looks like he's out till October. I think Ox is a long-term issue. It has been a long-term issue anyway. The poor lad's always badly injured. Bad luck for Ox. But I think he might just stick. It's another stick or twist, as for you. What do you think Klopp will do? Stick or twist?
Stick. I just don't see him doing anything, to be honest. I saw Paul Joyce put out this morning that Liverpool have no intention of
seen that.
Getting Nunez. I would stick because, I mean, if Thiago was out for 3-4 months, maybe I'd bring in a player. But he's not. I mean, they're saying 6 weeks, but it could be 3, it could be 4 as well. I think we're good. I mean, what's the point of having Carvalho and Elliott if you're not going to use them?
Use them.
You've got to put their big boy shoes on at some point. You know, Elliott already has. So you've got to trust in him. And again, we have to trust in Klopp, don't we? Or what's the point? Then we're all just going to be those toxic Twitter heads, aren't we? Just complaining all the time. Just get behind the team. Get behind the team. That's what you should be doing every single day. You're a true Liverpool supporter. Trust in Klopp. He hasn't, done too many bad things, has he?
No. As you say, we don't see them in training. Well, we do see snippets and stuff, but we don't actually see them day after day and stuff like that. I mean, look, there was a lot of panic after that Fulham game. There really was a lot of panic. Even pundits talking shite. I mean, I don't listen to those idiots. Even the ex-players, they should know better than talking the shite that they do. Maybe they do it for clicks. I don't know. Maybe to stay relevant. I don't fucking get it.
Dave, they're told by the TV gallery and the producers down there say something controversial. The main point is obviously Roy Keane. Like, he's great eye candy on the telly because he gets your clicks and all that. You only have to look at like a certain radio station, not even going to mention it, not worthy of my time anyway, but obviously on Twitter, and some of the obviously got Sooners on there now, but it's negativity sells and it sells, doesn't it? And even when you see Liverpool win a game.
Roy Keane was always like that, even as a player. He hasn't changed. That is Roy Keane. That's the way he is.
He hasn't
changed.
It's like reality, though.
I've seen him on Irish television over here.
Yeah.
I've seen him on talk shows.
Such a whinge bag. Come on, Roy, lighten up, man. It's all right.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say to you is that's the way he is. I seen a thing years ago where
I agree.
He was playing cards with Ferguson, playing a game on a pre-season tour, and he lost and went fucking mad.
Yeah, there's not many Roy Keanes, is there, though, Dave? There's not many Roy Keanes.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I do like people that speak the truth. I don't know whether you know, there's guys in Ireland now, they've retired since, like Johnny Giles used to be on RT, he did a lot of the punditry here. A guy called Eamon Dunphy. I mean, these guys, Graham Souness used to come over actually and do it, but these guys, forget about Match of the Day and BBC, because these guys would rip the fucking shit out of you. Old school, 80s style, baby. And that's what I like, 80s style. None of this bullshit that goes on today. Right, guys, so obviously, we've got a match to talk about. Crystal Palace, the visitors to Anfield, the first Anfield game of the season. It's a Monday night. I'm traditionalist. I'm sure Daz, Owen, Jackie Boy possibly are all traditionalists. I like my Saturday. I like my even Sundays, but definitely
I like my Mondays. So.
But, there you go. There's the age showing now, Jackie Boy. Anyway, it is 8 o'clock. It is Anfield. It is Monday. It is Crystal Palace. Vieira's Crystal Palace. We've had a few tricky games against them over the years, historically, of course. I expect Liverpool to get 3 points Monday night. We have to get 3 points Monday night. But what do you think, guys? What's the makeup of the team? There won't be too many changes, Daz, but Núñez comes in, I presume, for Bobby. Maybe Naby in midfield. What do you think?
I think Núñez starts. I would like, for me, I'd like Bobby to start. Just keep with the front three that played against Fulham, and bring Núñez on a bit later. But I understand. Again, I'm not. I don't pick the team. So midfield wise, it's a tough one, isn't it? But I would go with Hendo, Fab, and Elliott. I think Keita, just coming back from being sick, won't start. So it's either Milner, Carvalho, or Elliott, and I will put Elliott in there.
Good shout. Yeah, good shout, Elliott. And I presume with the back five or the goalkeeper, Trent Robbo's basically it, isn't it?
But any team that goes out the Klopp picks though should be beating Palace at home.
Oh yeah. I mean, look. You could say the same against Fulham. You could say any team we should be beating Fulham. Really, we just didn't perform that day. But I think the crowd, Anfield, first game back at Anfield. New season, ready to rock, and then we've United after that. We can't go too far of a head sales, but we need to beat Palace. I'm predicting 2-0. I think we'll beat them. I think we just be too good for them. They weren't great against Arsenal, but they are tricky. They've one or two good players. I mean, Zara's a danger. Plenty of pace in the squad. They won't lie over. Most teams don't lie over in the Premier League. So we'll want to be on our A game. We'll want to play, start well, get the tempo right, which we didn't do against Fulham. Obviously, the intensity book from Pep Linders was not read properly by the players, and I'm hoping they read it again over the weekend. Owen, what do you think? Would you agree with Daz? Maybe Elliott midfield, Nunes start?
Yeah, but sorry, what was your midfield? It was Elliott with Fabinho and
Hendo
Henderson.
and Fabinho.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be tempted with dropping Henderson because, as much as, as you say, it's not our call. We don't see them in training. But, I mean, Henderson was... I always look at passing accuracy as a good gauge of how well you're playing. And Henderson's passing accuracy was, I think, 14% lower than his own average from last season against Fulham. He had a nightmare. Trent was the worst. He was 20% lower than his pass, than last season. It was a horrible performance by absolutely everybody. So I'm not just singling them out. But having said that, if I think you'd be sending a good message to the squad if you played Milner, Fabinho and Elliott, maybe, because I don't know, maybe Klopp thought Fabinho played worse. He took Fabinho off instead of Henderson. But, it's just like Milner was really good when he came on and he's still a useful player. He started the game against Manchester United with Keita as well and Henderson, wasn't it, that day? The 5-0 at Old Trafford. That was our midfield that day. Milner, Keita and Henderson. And I might be tempted with that, but I don't know. Yeah, Elliott, start him. Why not? Great technique. And I'll be happy with anyone, but I'd probably...
Nunes or Bobby?
And Nunes, Nunes for Bobby. Yeah, Gary Richards is in the chat. He's been singing Darwin's praises all summer. And, we'd be doing it on Kopon too. Absolutely love the guy. There is no doubt that... did you see the stat before he came on?
The speed stat.
No, the speed stat was good. I saw that one too. But no, before he came on against Fulham, Liverpool's XG was 0.04 and we ended it with about 2.5 XG after Darwin came on. It's madness. He almost got a hat-trick 30 minutes.
I know.
He scored one and he made one. Absolutely madness. So, yeah, he starts. He starts from now until infinity.
With Diaz and Mo, I presume you mean?
Diaz and Mo.
Until Jota comes back. I mean, hopefully Jota will be back in 2 or 3 weeks, but, Jackie boy, would you concur, my friend?
I'd go a bit more attacking. Not at home, under the lights. I'd be interested to see how Carvalho's defensive game. He's still a young lad anyways, and especially new system as well. He's only played in that 10 role for Fulham, didn't he, last year? So, but for me, I'd like to see Carvalho, especially with Thiago out. Need that bit of creativity down the midfield 3 on the left. And then obviously do Nunes playing through the middle. So I know it's a bit gun-ho and a bit attacking, but I think it's at home, especially with the crowd behind the lads as well. I'd go with Fabinho in the 6, obviously Harvey on the right at a 3, and then obviously Carvalho on the left, and then Diaz, Nunes, and then Mo. And then obviously potentially Naby, as the lads have said, potentially he had probably one of his best games in Liverpool shirt against Old Trafford. But saying that, if us 4 played at midfield for Old Trafford, I think we could have done a similar job, especially when you got Pogba in midfield. But yeah, I'd go with them 3, mate. I'm intrigued to see how Jurgen does deploy Carvalho, especially if in a Liverpool system that predominantly doesn't tend to play a 4-2-3-1. But yeah, I'd go with that midfield 3 for me.
The more I think of it, the more I think Elliott has a very good chance of starting. He's obviously in the news was Lou long-term contract today, but I know Klopp absolutely loves him. There is a chance I think Elliott could play. Obviously, Nunes could get a start with Diaz and Mo. I'm expecting 2-0. I'm actually going to go Nunes Mo again, similar to what happened to Fulham, except we don't let in 2 goals, 2-0. But I just think it's important. Get off to a winning start. Get the win. Get the 4 points under our belt. It's all about confidence football. It's all about scoring goals, confidence, clean sheets. Clean sheets are bonuses and stuff like that for Alisson. He loves clean sheets, as we all know. But It's just important that we start the game fast, I think, and have the tempo right from the kickoff, because we were far too bloody slow against Fulham. Similar to the 2025 in the Community Shield against City. That first 2025 at the King Power against City was some of the best 2025 pressing, control, passing I've seen from Liverpool in the last 3 or 4 bloody years. And we've seen some good bloody games and starts, but you've got to start fast, because it just gives the other team, they're expecting a fast, intense start from Liverpool. And then when they don't see it, fair play to Fulham. They did play well, actually. I have to say it. They read the book instead of Liverpool. They must have got it posted to them, because they were intense. They were doing everything Liverpool do. And Liverpool are famous for. Fulham did. And fair play to them for doing it. It worked to the extent they got a draw out of it. We could have lost that game, guys, as well, remember. We could have won it, could have lost it. A draw was probably a fair result in the end. But I just think we've got to start against Palace intense, in their face, get a few shots away, hopefully an early goal, calm the crowd down, that type of thing, Daz. I think it's so important for Liverpool. The mentality monsters, that intensity, as Pep Linder's book says. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like us to turn them over in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just go at them, like a massive force. If we can do that, yeah, the crowd calms down, gets excited. It'll be exciting anyway for first home match, but we have to have a team that was unrecognisable against Fulham, because watching that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, even Neil Atkinson, who usually is pretty.
He was not a happy camper, was he?
Was he?
No.
Like, he even did like 10,000 word article, which I've never seen him do on just, we need a midfielder, and I've never heard him say that stuff before. And he was just like, he's had enough. Like, I don't know whether it's because the team rode the train down to Fulham. Maybe that was half the problem. But yeah, we've got to go all out, don't we? And I want to see that. I don't want to see, a bit of trepidation from the team. Just go out, get some early goals, and get it done by like half time. Is that going to happen? Probably not, as we all know. Are we going to beat Palace on Monday? Yes, of course we are.
It could take a while to beat them, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could, and it depends how Vieira wants to set them up as well. Is he just going to set them up very defensive, and they're going to be hard to break down? But again, we have the team to beat them, and then the bench is looking a lot better than it was, a week or so ago.
It actually looked fairly weak, didn't it? It did look weak at the bench, didn't it? There wasn't much on the bench. For the 5 sub rule as well, we're talking about how important it would be with Liverpool being so stacked and, having all players in positions, impact players and all this. And then all of a sudden I seen the bench, when I see the team come out, I'm going, well, there's not actually much there to change it, other than the Nunes was on the bench, but there wasn't much.
Yeah. Well, I disagree. Sorry, Dave, I disagree, because we had Harvey Elliott, Darwin Nunes, Fabio Carvalho on the bench.
Yep.
They're 3 game changers going forward. We had Jimmy Milner.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez.
But still, there was a few young lads there. There was 1 or 2
That's
players.
true. There was Stefan Bajcetic, Sepp Vandenberg, and Luke Chambers. Yes,
Luke Chambers. It was weak enough. It was weak enough now.
Yeah,
continue the players that were out. I mean, the players that could have been on the bench. Kanate was out. Obviously, Naby was out. Naby can come on. Usually does come on last 15, 20. I think Jota's huge for Liverpool last 20 in games. He's a huge one. I mean, we'd Nunes there as well. But it'll get stronger. Liverpool's bench hopefully will get stronger anyway.
Yeah,
but
don't think it helped me that we watched City do what they did on Sunday. Yeah, it's difficult and it is impossible to compare us with City in terms of their depth, because when you look at their attacking depth in Europe, it's probably the best. The money that they spend, even £50 million on fullbacks every single season, it seems like anyway. But yeah, it's going to be mad how not just Liverpool, but a lot of teams in the Premier League do deploy that 5 sub rule. And it's going to be interesting, but it just helps if Liverpool have got that 1 or 2 extra player to get us over the line, because we don't want to be sitting there like the end of next season, 1 point off the league title again. And it's like, what if could have happened really again?
Jack, you're going to the game, eh? You going to the game Monday?
Yeah, hopefully if it works, because I know there's been a lot of issues with the obviously new ticketing system. Last year we put it into place. I think a lot of Premier League teams this season, I think you will see a lot of delays. It's just old technology in Anfield. They really do need to develop the ground in terms of the turnstiles. It's so old fashioned, but I think I think the club is saving the money for the Mo Salah contract at the minute, and
the Harvey contract.
The Harvey one. Today. Everyone's new contract. Get buying those new shirts, everyone. Go on, fair kit out soon. But no, it's going to be exciting, mate. I'm always blessed. Even I'd be happy to go to one game a season, or I'm happy to go even the pre-seasons, because I know a lot of Reds around the world. Obviously,
it's so hard to get tickets. It's so hard to get tickets. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a thing on our famous toxic Twitter talking to Liverpool fans, and this idiot, I think he was a City fan, maybe, I don't know, but shouldn't be saying anything really. He was a City fan, but saying something like to people, "How many times were you at Anfield?" As if to say, if you're at Anfield a certain amount of time, that makes you a fan. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like
Liverpool, as we know, global family.
There's about fucking 100 million Liverpool fans. They're not all going to get to Anfield. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
a good point there from Eamon. He's actually expecting a tough game against Palace, because remember, Palace are probably a better team than Fulham. They're probably a mid-table side. I still think Palace will be okay, even if we beat them. Arsenal beat them, but I still think they'll probably finish mid-table. So there's two ways I think the game will go. We can either smash them, start quick, get a few early goals, bang, 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 3-4-0 type of thing, nice, easy, or it'll be 0-0 half-time type of thing, and you see the trepidation and the bloody, the crowd and subs, and it's not quite working when we get a late winner type of thing. I think it can only go two ways for Liverpool. I think we will beat them, though. Surely we'll beat them at home. We have the quality and stuff like that.
Yeah, but on that, I mean, the ways we can beat them. If you go back, if you're brave enough to go back and look at the highlights, as I did of the Fulham game, when Darwin came on, Liverpool, okay, we then conceded that very poor penalty, and it was came from a poor pass by Jean Matip. But apart from that, which was just one big error by Matip and another big one by Virgil, very uncharacteristic from both of them, we did look ourselves. Apart from the finish, that we had chance after chance as soon as Darwin came on. So if he starts. And, I think the energy levels will be very, very different. I think we could carry on, because had we played another 10 minutes against Fulham, we would have won, I reckon, because we were pushing at the end, So, I think I am very confident. And Palace don't have Conor Gallagher, who was their big player last season.
Yeah, true. Very true. What do you think, Daz? Gallagher was a big player. Obviously, he's back at Chelsea, but... they still have one or two dangerous players. I mean, they have to be watched. They won't hand you the 3 points. Like anything in the Premier League, you'll have to earn them. Mm-hmm. So I'm expecting a tricky little game here Monday.
You always got to watch out for Zaha, especially on the right side against Trent. So whoever's on that right side has got to back Trent up when he goes forward. So obviously we're thinking Elliott, right? So Elliott's got to have one hell of a defensive game as well. To help Trent out, but we're too good for Palace. We should be on paper. Yeah. We're too good. So again, nothing but a win. Will it be hard fought? Probably, but 3 points is what we need. Who cares about the scoreline? To be honest,
the performance is nothing. It's the result that counts.
As long as we win, I'd like a clean sheet, because that helps a team. Brings out confidence as well. But it's 1-0 or 2-1, 3-2. At the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. Get them on the board.
Absolutely. Lads, Owen and Jack, obviously it's just a must win, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. I was just getting up the league table of last season in terms of obviously the results. Manchester City, obviously, am I echoing?
Yeah.
Is that echoing?
You like the Liverpool Echo newspaper there? Go on.
Well, but now?
No, you're okay.
Is that sounds? No, that sounds. Yeah, obviously City drawed in 6, and obviously they lost one game more than us. And I think, I don't know how you lads feel in chat. Last last week felt like a point gained. I know we spoke about after the post-match, it was 2 points dropped anyway, but when you analyse the whole game, Fulham done a lot within that game to really get that game over the line in terms of taking all 3 points. But as Daz alluded to really before as well, it's up to Vieira. And as we've said, in terms of, they've always played all right, Palace. I've always been impressed when they've come to Anfield. Them and Brighton always seem to have a decent game. And when you look at last week's results against Arsenal, they had the same shots on target as Arsenal. Their problem, similar with Arsenal that night, was getting the ball in the back of the net. And when they've lost Benteke, obviously there's a lot of trust in Edwards. He hasn't really settled in since his move from Celtic as well, but his only outlet, and the lads are right. You've always got to keep hold of tabs on Wilfried Zaha. He's probably one of the most difficult players outside the top 4. You never know what you're going to get. You're either going to get a great game, draws, penalties, or you're going to get the Zaha that a lot of people know where just ducks out of challenges and really doesn't look half bothered half the time.
The incredible sulk. Look, I'm just looking forward to it, guys. But as I say, having to wait till bloody Monday to watch the Reds play is a bit of a travesty. We're going to go now in a minute. As I say, there's a lot happening. Liverpool, it's just great to be following the Reds. I want all you guys to tell everybody, if you have shows upcoming about your own channel. Daz in Austin, Texas, of course, Liverpool Connection podcast, has more stars on the show than the James Webb Telescope. This guy is unbelievable. The stars on the show. Daz, who have you upcoming? What show have you got? A new pub show as well, don't you?
Yeah, the new pub chat show is going really well. On the 27th this month, after the Bournemouth game, we've got Sammy Lee live in the pub.
Wow.
He's coming for a Legends talk, and I've persuaded him to come on the pod again. So he must like it. So that's always nice. I've got a few more up my sleeve that I'm not gonna say yet, but they'll be coming out in the next month or two. But just enjoying bringing the stories of again, the fans, the musicians, actors, authors, and former players on the show. It's not about me at all. It's about getting these stories out, because a lot of these young cats have never heard these stories before.
Yeah.
And I haven't either.
Even old cats like me haven't heard them either.
You can't tell by the grey. Well, that's because I have 4 little ones as well. I'm actually only 21.
I know, they put years on you. You're right there. They put years on you.
Just wait until they turn to teenagers, because I've got 4 girls, so I'm in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bars on the window, and I'm going to be very American when they grow up. Shotgun.
I was just about to say, where's the shotgun? But wow, 4. I have 1 little girl. She's 11, but still, a girl's a girl, I suppose. It's a different level, as they say. But what did you say? It's Liverpool Connection podcast. I will put your link in the description. Show the love to these guys, because I mean, I've been doing it for about 4 years. Jack knows, in around the same time as Jack. That's how I met Jack. Through this, I've met you guys, and it's all about, look, it's not about making money, certainly not making money over it. It's not about selling T-shirts. It's not even about the subs, to be fair. It's about meeting you guys. It's about talking about Liverpool, who we all love. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be in the pub doing it. And I do talk, as you know, and I talk in the pub too. So, when people would be probably pouring the drink over my fucking head. Who's this fucking lunatic talking? He won't shut up. So I'd be doing it anyway, but it's better doing it this way. I mean, you're in Austin, Texas. Owens in Paris. I'm in Dublin. Jackie Boy is in Liverpool. I mean, it's international.
We can't pour the beer on your head from here, so you're safe, Dave.
You can pour alcoholic water if you want. Owen, Kopon podcast, another legendary podcast, Liverpool-wise. Have you anything upcoming? You're doing a lot more live shows, my friend.
Well, I mean, just because I record using the same streaming platform as you do, as lots of people do, StreamYard, so it's quite easy to jump on YouTube. I don't do any promotion. I stay away from it. As you say, it's not really about. I mean, it's not even about promoting anymore. I just there is a podcast you can listen to, which is the main one that people listen to all around the world. which is absolutely wonderful. And that's, Kopon podcast, Cop with a K. I don't work for the police. Excuse me. It's just my own personal view. So, I mean, it's really good. It's read around the world, it goes out around the world. If anyone wants to listen to it, then you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. And, do check out everyone else's work here as well, because I'm a big fan of all of you guys, all of what you do. And so I don't know. It's a nice little community, isn't it? So thank you to everybody.
You hit it right in the head, the LFC family, as they call it. But that's what it's all about, guys. It's not even about the football. It's actually about the interactions. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. The interactions, the camaraderie, the chat, the journey, whatever you want to talk about. You can always talk about it on her once it's kept nice and clean, maybe. Jackie boy, you've changed your name again to Anfield Road TV. Jack, have you're live? You're live city. You're live a lot more than me. You've been on a lot more shows. You're floating, my friend.
Just me, mate, just talking, rambling about it, Ed, like always. But yeah, I'll be live tonight, mate. On obviously talking. He's very welcome, but gents, if he's available tonight, but no worries if he's aren't. But we're 9 at 9. Want to show it off 8 with the lads in like 5-10 minutes. One of my good mates anyway, as well. But thank you once again, mate, and well done on the 5K. And it's great to speak to you, Daz and Owen, again in chat. And look after yourselves. Try and stay off social media, everyone. Just enjoy your weekend. And as the lad said, hopefully the Reds can get the results on Monday night. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for popping in. As I say, we're going to do a lot more live shows, a lot more content, a lot more stuff, basically. Join us on the journey for Liverpool. Choo-choo. Where will we stop next? Will it be the Premier League title? Will it be the Champions League? Will it be number 7? And just join us on the Anfield Express, guys, because once you have your ticket, we ain't letting you off the train. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Hit the like, hit the share, hit it like Paddy the Baddy. Talk soon. Cheers.